Alright. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the den. I'm your host, Ed Honcho. Let me see, we have some issues over here. Yeah, looks like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. It has been an issue. I'm gonna try to get some buffer. I see that it's dropping a lot of frames. I don't know what's been going on. That's been real early on the other stream, too. Oh, I was on a phone that early, my bad.
There we go. All right. Uh, Let me know if you're still getting it. It looks like it's slowed up. The buffering has slowed up a little bit. So, yeah. All right, there we go. Um, Welcome to the Den. If you're not familiar with the Den is the best conversation on the internet. The reason why I feel like the Den is the best conversation on the internet is because of you wonderful people who come and join the conversation each and every night. Um, I don't know if I did or didn't say it, but I am your host, Ed Honcho. I'm glad to be here. I'm just happy to be here. Um, but no, again, really, truly, honestly, it is an honor. It is a privilege, but most of all, it's my pleasure to get to chop it up with you wonderful people. So many different personalities, backgrounds, and the diverse versatility of the conversation makes it so interesting. But now make sure you're following on the proper social medias, Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram and Twitter, and Den Show Live on Facebook. So make sure you are following to get the proper socials. That way, if you don't get the YouTube updates, make sure you got the bell clicked on YouTube. 'Cause I know a lot of people been telling me they have not been getting notifications. I don't know. Some of y'all been telling me y'all been getting you with the little bell filled all the way in and everything. I wish I could control it, but the best I can do is, like I say, is I use other platforms to kind of, you know, just post whether or not it will be a Den show. So if you're a Twitter user, if you're a Facebook user, if you're a Facebook user, you should be in the Facebook group so you can just get the notifications. So I usually post those in there. Um, I try to post them on YouTube too. But let's talk about it, man. So first, let's see what we have in here joining us this evening. We're going to talk about Karen. And Karen is such a funny thing, and I'll kind of get into a story why Karen is such a funny name. But for those of you who didn't know, and I'll bring up the
Dan Strong donated $5. Notice it's all the Karens complaining about fitting the Karen archetype. Fuck Karen and fuck Twitter for making this an issue.
Absolutely. Shout out to Data, man. That's exactly what that's the thing. Like that's what people didn't realize. They made a huge mistake, right? So you got to understand. Becky and Karen. Becky grows up into Karen, so you got to understand how that whole dynamic. But we'll get to that. Appreciate Dan the man. Well, let's see what they got joined us, man. We'll talk about this. Let's see what we got in the mix, man. Infinity, what's the motherfucking deal? John from NY, my favorite New Yorker. Jason S, what's the motherfucking deal? East Side. Harold says he's looking for Karen right now as we speak. What's the motherfucking deal? Culture, the Don of the Discord. What's the motherfucking deal? Just Sarah, the lovely Miss Just Sarah. How are you this evening? Sweetberry, that's what's going on. Hey, how you doing, Sweetberry? I'm glad you can join us. What's the motherfucking deal, Sweetberry? I ain't gonna do you like that this evening. Dakota in the building. What's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Do. Josh in the building. Beyond a funny nigga. What's the motherfucking deal? Heidi. Hello, Heidi. How are you? Senior guy. That's a weird name. That's a terrible name. Let's see. Do. Dre in the building. What's the motherfucking deal? Lady Licious. Speaking of Karens, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see as we cha slide. Miss Bell, I don't know if I missed Miss Bell or not. What's the motherfucking deal? How are you this evening, Miss Bell? Let me see. Unbeaten, what's the motherfucking deal? Louis 17 in the building, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Like Chewbacca, that's funny. Man. Um, Terrible. Sound like with witness protection. That's terrible stuff. Yeah, it did go down during South Sports TV. It was awful. Kenny Cologne, what's the motherfucking deal? Strong and grand. What's the motherfucking deal? I wish the Urban Dictionary bot thing still worked because it used to be so convenient for all of us. Let's see. Kefra, what's the motherfucking deal? Looks like a new name. I'm glad you could join us. Welcome to the den if this is your first time. If not, welcome back. Let me see. No, I have no idea what's going to happen now. Let me see. Okay, I think I got everybody. David, well, I do the same thing. That's why it takes so long for the streams to get started. I strut around, feeling like I'm a part-time pimp. So that's why I do what I does. XYZ123. What's the motherfucking deal? So let us get into it. Black Karen is Keisha. Is that a thing? Oh, that's terrible. We'll figure it out. We'll resolve that problem before the end of the show. We're 23D. We got 7 likes. Hit that like button. It's greatly appreciated. So let's talk about it, man. First, let me change this. Let's clutter out the way. So, I guess yeah, I did. I saw that that happened. You received a strange message, and I figured that's what it was, Mr. Jason S. So, this Karen term that has become associated with white men. I think it's really been so much more so with like all of the, calling the cops on black people for doing like randomly benign shit. Like it just really doesn't matter. And so, you had Barbecue Becky and what was it? Parking Lot Patty or something like that. I forgot what Permit Patty. Yeah, it was Permit Patty. And so I guess they've just basically started kind of lumping them all into one thing. And so Karen, I guess, is the stereotypical Karen is the short-haired, pixie cut wearing white woman who wants to speak to the manager. But here's the thing, and I mentioned this the other day. It's really funny because, he's talking about Karen and Tyrone, a match made in heaven, but it's always the stereotypical
footballer 503 donated $2 through Super Chat. The word versatility should be banned because of Dumbio.
And it's almost universally true, but it's kind of weird. It's like, so some of the Karens I've seen labeled as Karens, they don't look like the type, but who knows? I guess maybe it's a thing. I don't know. Is there a correlation there, right? The word versatility should be banned because of Dumbio. Yeah, I get nervous with myself when I use it. But, and so it's super funny when I think about it, like when I see like the little Karen memes and things, because, stereotypes exist for a reason. Usually they're based off some type of something relevant to the truth. So I saw one today. I guess a lady was getting kicked out of Red Lobster for whatever reason. I don't know if she wasn't. I don't know. And people were mad, and it started a little altercation. But she wanted a refund, and she wanted to speak to the manager, and she was not happy. That Karen was not happy at all. But it's not even about the Karen itself or the people behaving like Karens. It's the fact that it has become a thing, right? It's like it's been brought up like, is Karen a derogatory term in the same, realm of, nigga, I guess, but spicks, wetbacks, or, kikes, whatever you want to call it. I guess all kind of rude names for all types of racial whatevers. Around this time I start getting tired. I got all my good racial vocabulary on deck. But so they've associated with these kind of terms, and people are trying to say, oh, it's offensive, right? Well, no, of course we know it's not. But like, how do the people who are actually named Karen feel, right? To say now that your name is an offensive term. So I think it gets a little weird. But let's kind of get to the source of this, and then we'll I want to pull up on this. I should have set this up before I did the thing. But I'll read you guys this little article, and let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see what kind of shenanigans I can do real quick. It could be like a read along, like reading Rainbow. We can all read together. Let's do this. Let's do this. And all right. All right. Well, that's not what I intended to do, but here, let's do it like so. Okay, now I guess I can do it the right way without looking like I'm fucking up all the internet again. All right, cool. Yeah, this will work. And I guess we'll put it in here, right? So, anyway, it says Twitter asks if Karen is the N word for white women. And then I don't know what they did with some weird stuff. So you wonder, like, how does it get to that point? Like, how is it that people are truly, or white women that truly offended, or have we really gotten so soft that, calling anybody anything is just offensive, like that we can't take anything that makes us slightly uncomfortable? And, I can see it in the same sense. And again, I'm not supporting it. I don't give a shit if you call people Karen. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't mean shit. But, like, I guess in the same sense that people try to talk about that dead naming thing, right? So maybe that's how they're trying to apply it. Like, well, you're calling me a name that's not mine, or whatever it is. And, maybe they're trying to play that angle with it. But either way, like I said, I think it's fucking stupid. It's not a big deal. And I mean, if you're really that sensitive, well, I think you got a bigger problem. But the funny thing about it is, what do you expect from the type of people you're discussing, right? You're talking about people who complain about everything. And then they get labeled with a name and they complain about it. So, I mean, should we really be surprised at all? Let's see what we got going on here. All right. I'm trying to keep all the bullshit out of it. All right, let's see how this looks. All right. I'll actually do it like this so I can pop up so y'all can see what I'm reading here. Bunch of nonsense. So it says Twitter asks if, and this is the Dallas Observer. Dallas is a terrible place, and so I didn't even know there was a thing called the Dallas Observer. So it says, whatever. Says, does anyone else think the Karen slur is woman hating and based on class prejudice? So again, like, is it a class prejudice thing? I mean, is Karen, like, does this trans? I mean, I've seen poor Karens. I think I've seen wealthy Karens. I think Karen is not a class thing. It's just something that people do. But anyway, Friends of journalism, I'll follow that. But anyway, basically, so it just talks about how, this thing became like a bit of a trending topic. And so this Friends of Journalism thing, they did a poll, right? And of course, obviously, overwhelmingly no. I wonder who the 4% that said yes. They're probably all literally named Karen. So I guess this has nothing to do with it, but this is actually pretty funny that they replaced all these songs, I guess, anything with nigga, and they replaced it with Karen. It's actually really funny. Yeah, so like I said, I pulled up a couple of things here. Karen, Becky, or Chad. That's I guess Becky is associated with it. The Chad thing, though, that's like the incel thing. So I don't know if that's really necessarily like the same thing. And for the basic white person name, I don't think that's necessarily what it's about. But this is a Vox article, so who can I blame but myself for that? But yeah, as y'all can see, the basic theme of this is, the white woman that complains or is overly what's the word I want to use? Overly, not naggy, particular, maybe. You know, we've seen them all. Again, I'm not sure exactly where the origin started, but again, as you see, the haircut and everything that goes with that. And I guess I probably should have read some of these before we got into it. But anyway, so just to prove validity that I'm not making the Karen thing up. Hey, we got that. So anyway, I want to know your thoughts, man. Like as far as the whole Karen thing, we're gonna get ready to open up the line shortly. It was something else I wanted to talk about, and I've been halfway trying to remember that while I've been reading, but I can't think of what it is. But is it offensive? I mean, is it offensive to label any particular group, even if it's not necessarily a traditionally offensive name? Is it offensive? Or is it wrong to label any group with these names, right? I wish I could be a real Tyrone. What was old buddy's name? Nah, you don't want to be a Tyrone. That guy was a fucking punk. I'm Tyrone. Yeah. No, Heidi, absolutely not. C minus. But like I say, man, you know, it's like, honestly, what is there to get mad about if you are a quote unquote Karen? Like, if you do these things, you're almost making it true. Like, I don't want to say it's not like a self-fulfilling thing, but if you're complaining about something that's not worth complaining about, generally for the most part, you're complaining that somebody's calling you Karen, you might be a Karen, or you might be annoyed. Like, or is it like baiting somebody into it, right? Like if you call a wife, what if she like doesn't necessarily have like Karen tendencies, but then you call her Karen, and then she starts getting mad and complaining about you calling her Karen. Does she become a Karen then? You know what I mean? So, again, never in my life have I ever seen a white Tyrone. I almost thought that was true with Dwayne too, but then I think that I came across a white Dwayne. And yes, y'all hit that like button. It's free. So, like I said, we're gonna open up the line, and I gotta take better notes, man. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I was a little last minute, you know, getting prepared. It's been another one of those days. It was something funny that I wanted to fucking talk about, and I thought about it earlier, and it's just, what the fuck? If you're from the city, did y'all see that the Maxo Rizzo fight? That's terrible. You call a black woman aggressive because she's dark skinned and she gets aggressive with you. Does that make her aggressive dark skinned? But I mean, it's the way it works. I mean, that's how people tend to operate. So I guess it's true, right? Because at that point they are aggressive. So if at that point they're acting like a Karen, I guess, you know, it works. But if they don't, then how do you? I don't know. Yeah, that was Queen Karen. I would definitely agree with you on that, Heidi. That was the ideal definition of a Karen, and it was so confusing, right? Let me tell you how confusing the Maria G. Karen situation was. Maybe in Canada it works differently, but for the most part, I don't think many people. I mean, some people saw what she looked like, but the accent was, you know, relatively strong. So the perception was more that this woman on the phone who is talking is of some type of Hispanic, Latin, whatever you want to call it, origin. And she would get on the phone and always say, "It's because I'm white. Huh? It's because I'm white." It's because you say that repeatedly. So I guess, like, that was very Karen-esque in a way, but it was confusing because it was like a non-white Karen that was embracing whiteness. So I'm like, I'm baffled. I really am baffled by that one. So it's like, I don't know, man. Karen, you talking about Tiger King's old lady? You know, you talking about the other what was that motherfucker's name? That was Carol. That bitch Carol Baskin. That's what that fucking was. Yes. Good evening, Allures Pandora Box. Welcome. So, again, we're going to talk about it. We're going to open up the line. Now, here's the thing. Here's the beautiful thing about it, right? This is what makes the den so amazing. We have a diverse array of people, from various backgrounds, various nationalities, ethnicities, countries, socioeconomic status, however you want to look at it. I would like to hear from any of the white ladies in the den who may feel a particular way about the term Karen. Whether neutral, I guess that's not feeling away if you're neutral about it, or whether positive or negative. So we will definitely see what's going on. Yeah, and then I'm still waiting on the lawyers. Maybe they sent the letter to the old address. So, it's like there's multiple white women in the den. I had a very extended conversation with a white woman in the den yesterday about Lil Boosie, and my life has forever been changed. I will never look at Misty the same. Y'all have no idea how that blew my mind yesterday. That Misty knew such in-depth knowledge about Lil Boosie. It really blew my mind. I was super shocked, super surprised that that conversation even went to those lengths. Really, yeah. Jewel House knew all about his clothing line and all that good stuff. So, it's gonna be very interesting. Oh, let me see. Hold on. I see that I'm already missing some content. Come on, let me stupid with me. Let me see. Let me make sure this thing ain't acting. Hopefully that'll work. This will work. Yeah, let's do that. Open up the line. I see we got folks already trying to call in. Okay. We might have had a Karen already attempt to call in. Already. Hold on one second. Get the headphones on. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hold on, I might have to change my thing. Let me see.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me? I might have been on me because I don't know what I did with this little stupid program. It takes over some stuff and I have to switch shit back and forth. So if you couldn't hear me, I may have to tweak with it a little bit. Can you hear me? Hold on, let me see what we got going on here. No, that's not it. Don't allow that. Let's see. Hello. Can you hear me now? Oh, you know what I might need to do is this too. Yeah, and that stuff works fine, and then it gets all crazy. I forgot what I did yesterday. What did I do? I don't know if that's it. But y'all know, play as fuck up. I tend to do this every other night or so. So, pardon me, it happens. And I guess I should put the number up there too. We're gonna get it right. I know it's something that I need to change here. Let's go. Is it here? No, I don't think that's it. Let's see, hold on. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening? Not sure why it is not giving me this. Let's try this. Let's see if this works. Hello, can you hear me? Testing, testing. I guess not. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna try all these shits until one of them work. I don't know what I fucking put it on yesterday. I guess that's what happens when I try to get all cool with the little thing. Hey, give me a second. Let me just undo this. And I think that'll probably be the best bet. Close that out. What the fuck is that?
If all else fails, you could use text. I can hear you. Can you hear me? All right.
All right, there we go. Now we have a connection. Okay, sorry about that. You know. Okay, who do we have called into the dead this evening?
No, Heidi, we cannot call black people. We cannot. Karen does not equate to Rashida. What's going on, Casey? It's Jason S.
So you said that Rashida does not equal a Karen. What is it? What is a Karen in your opinion, sir?
A Karen is someone who does not know when to shut up.
Well, doesn't know when to shut up. So you would say
No,
just a person
they
who is talkative would just be a Karen?
Not talkative, but let's see. A Karen, in my personal opinion, is someone who really is. I mean, it doesn't matter what race they are, but I think someone qualifies as a Karen if they are easily offended and do not know when to stop talking.
Okay. Have you encountered a Karen?
Yes, I have. I actually have. But I didn't encounter them. I saw one. I saw one from a distance. I don't remember what they were talking about, but I remember she got offended because I was riding I had to take the bus home, and they were having like a conversation in the back, and then I heard her start yelling, and then she just moved up to the front. I do not remember what it was.
So the Karen was relocating while on a moving vehicle?
Yep. Which is highly, highly dangerous. $200,000 fine in the city of Kyle, Texas. So I'm pretty sure she'll get that in the mail.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. I would say that'd be a terrible, terrible deal.
Yeah, that'd be horrible.
Yeah, that would definitely be bad. So that'd be bad. So you feel like a Karen can transcend race. It's just more of that individual's behavior.
Yeah. I do not believe that a Karen is a Karen just on the looks. I think it's in the way that they behave and how they react to certain things. Like, for example, if I was playing let's get on PETA for a second. If I were to play Super Mario Bros. 3, and I got the Tanuki suit, and a woman walks in, automatically offended by the fact that Mario's wearing a Tanuki suit, she's definitely a Karen. Hello, Honcho?
Yeah, I'm here. That's just a very obscure but interesting reference. I get it. I don't know if everybody does, but I get it. Some people may think it sounds like some type of weird kink, but hey, whatever. Okay, so
They get the wrong idea.
A person who's just immediately offended by simple things, and I see, I think it's shout out to Miss Meat. Miss Meat, how are you this evening? Miss Meat, we need to call in. You might be a black version of a Karen. We got some things to discuss.
Oh no, Matt Ryan, don't throw the ball there.
Terrible.
You got to take Dante Hightower.
Okay.
And he got sacked. Great.
So, any other thoughts about Karens? Like, do you think that they are a problem in society? Should they be offended by being called a Karen, or do you think it's a highly offensive term?
I don't think it's offensive because I think the people who made Karen a derogatory slur for white women was white women.
Really?
Yeah.
What makes you feel that way?
Because some white women tend to be, some, not all of them, but some tend to be over dramatic.
Mm-hmm. So I got a question for you. Got a real question here, and it should be very. And I guess all questions are real questions. Do you think that women are looked at differently when they're dramatic? You know, I know you said you don't feel like Karen is a race-based thing, but I think predominantly people look at Karen as white women. But do you think that there's a different stigma when, say, a white woman is overdramatic compared to when a black woman is overdramatic?
I guess it depends on what they're being overdramatic about. Mm-hmm. For me, at least.
Okay. All right. You don't know what a Karen is, Miss Angela? No, okay. Misty didn't either, so I guess everybody doesn't know.
She didn't. The ironic part is she didn't know what a Karen was, even though she was one.
So I wonder if I don't know. Misty's a certified gangster. You know what I'm saying? Because she, Misty definitely listens to
Misty's one of. I bet Misty's one of those people that just hasn't been midlife. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to think.
No, I don't think it's that. I think Misty is using Trey as a scapegoat, and she's really listening to a lot of Lil Boosie. She's like really a huge Lil Boosie fan, but she has a son, so she's able to use him as a scapegoat. Misty comes home every day from the Corona front lines. Get some hand sanitizer and some bleach wipes, and jams Lil Boosie Wipe Me Down as she disinfects from all of the stuff floating around in the air. So she's a very big Boosie fan. I know this for a fact. She didn't tell me this, but I know these things. Trust me, I'm psychic. Anything else that's on your mind when it comes to the term Karen there, Mr. Jason?
Why? This is now. It's not because it's not because I have a liking toward it, but why did they choose Karen?
Why did they choose Karen?
Like, why? Yeah, what? Like, we couldn't have gone with like Tammy or anything, or like Ashley.
I don't know. Karen is like it's like that name. You know what I'm saying? I guess I don't know any black Karens.
I don't know any black Calebs. Like, you're not gonna see a white. You're not gonna see a white dude named Deshaun.
I don't know, man. We're living in a new day and age. If Sean King's real name is Deshaun. Now, let me stop bullshitting. But
Ew.
It's like it's a popular enough name, but it makes you think of a thing. Like I said again, if you said Keisha, you automatically think of a black girl. But I've seen white Keishas. That's the crazy thing about it. But like I say, if you say Karen, you're automatically think of a white lady. Like, honestly, I'm like, I don't think I've met ever.
Like if they say Pedro, they're thinking of a Mexican kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pedro's definitely going to be a small Mexican child. I don't think I've ever seen an African Pedro. So.
We're not going to.
Martin Luther King. Well, yeah, okay, that's about man, Mr. Jason S, man. If you don't have anything else, man, I appreciate your call, and just stay away from Karens, man.
Yep, and we just hit the 10-minute mark.
All right, well, I appreciate your call, sir. You have a good evening.
You too.
All right. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Hello.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Yeah, this is the white Tyrone from New York calling in.
If there was Ever a white Tyrone, he would most definitely be from New York. White Tyrone, what are your thoughts on Karens, man?
Man, I'm just sitting here chilling in the cut. What's poppin', player?
Man, you know what's the New York slang? Dead ass, son. You know, we just dead ass talking about Karens over here, B. Say word, yo.
No, I don't appreciate this guy Lewis, this cat Lewis 17 calling me by my slave name Johnny. It is Tyrone X going forward.
Motherfucker. Okay. TX, Tyrone X. Everybody? TX, you know, Texas. It's all good. It's all good, sir. What are your thoughts, though, Mr. Tyrone X, formerly the artist formerly known as John? What are your thoughts on this term, Karen? Is it offensive? Is it as offensive as the N-word, in your opinion?
No, I don't think it's as offensive as the N-word. I think that article that you showed, I mean, that was silly. It's like, come on, who's really going to say that the N-word and the word Karen are on the same level? That's ridiculous. And I think they put that article out on purpose like that, like to do with a lot of the news media. It's just to, you know, waste time and sway people to one direction. I think the word Karen, which I've been seeing on Twitter like the last couple of weeks, I think that's more of like a play on like a black woman being called Shanae back like in the 90s with, you know, or like, you know, like Shaniqua or something like that. It's kind of like a white woman's, it's kind of like, in my opinion, it's kind of like a name to describe a certain type of white woman. Like Shanae was a certain name to describe a certain type of black woman.
Yeah.
I think it's more on that. I think it's more on that level. Because when I was looking on Twitter, I didn't really see any black women being called a Karen. I just saw it really like white women being called a Karen. So it seemed like it was, you know, somehow like a rebuttal to like a Shaniqua or a Loquisha or Shanae name.
Loquisha, that was that movie, wasn't it? Didn't they have a movie of Loquisha or something like that? I actually wanted to see that for some reason.
That's the one when the white guy couldn't get hired because he didn't fit the role. So then he started pretending he was a black woman, and they're like, "Oh, that's great, we want you," and then he had to hide his identity. But yeah, I think it's ridiculous. I feel like it's going to. I feel that it shows you how entitled just about every group of people in this country feel they are these days. When, you know, it's like when people are so openly just being nasty to each other now. I mean, you go on Twitter, you see everything. You see white people making fun of black people making fun of white people, Hispanic people making fun of both people, Asians sitting on the sideline going to school and making money. So it's just horrible. I think it's ridiculous. I think it should stop. I think all that bullshit should stop. I mean, I was doing some research for my YouTube channel, and I was looking at some videos, and unfortunately I fell into like the dark hole of YouTube, and it's just, I mean, it's horrendous. The names that come up with people, I mean, Tyrone, Chad, and Billy are like nice compared to the shit that I was like. They were calling black women, were calling black men nakers, like the LA Lakers, but they changed the L to an N, so it sounds like the N word.
Yes. Oh
my God, they were just like, it was horrendous, and I'm like, this world is coming to an end. Yes. So, it's just disgusting, but I feel that the Karen word is not on the level of the N word. It's on the level of like a Shanae or something like that, or a Shaniqua or something like that. In my opinion, I don't think anybody should be called a Shanae or Shaniqua unless their name really is Shanae or Shaniqua. And I don't think anybody should be called a Karen unless their name is really Karen. You know, I just feel that these are all ways for people to jab at each other. And I always feel you should let, you know, sleeping giants lie. You know, you don't want to wake them up because, you know, a lot of damage can happen. You know what I mean? So I don't think people should go looking for trouble. But I mean, it's a little silly, hashtag. But I mean, that's what it is today. And then tomorrow, the new thing will be doing this, and then, it's like, where do you go from there afterwards?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it just seems like when you kind of like you said, letting sleeping giants lie, you poking those bears. It's just eventually they're gonna wake up, and then like say, and it's funny because this type of, I guess the stereotype of a Karen is the type of person that would cause enough of a ruckus. If you're a collective of Karens would come together and cause enough of a ruckus to get some shit changed in a direction that we wouldn't be too happy about it as a nation. So I think
we need a Martin Luther Karen to have a dream. But it is unfair. It is very unfair that every guy who slits at a hooker is called a John. I don't need my name to be associated with that kind of action. I'm a good, upstanding Christian.
That is a thing, isn't it?
What are your feelings?
Do you feel any particular kind of way about that? Like when I know you say you don't want that association, but like how was your response the first time you heard that?
I was wondering why they're called a John. I couldn't figure it out. I still don't know. If somebody knows, please let me know. Is it just because John's a common name?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is it kind of like a John Doe? They don't know who they fucking. They just fucking with a John.
Well,
I don't know.
I know they call the toilet the John because the guy, I think, who invented something to do with the toilet, his name was John Crapper. That's also why they said they take a crap.
That's terrible. That would be a terrible, terrible deal. That would be the worst name ever had to go down the history book.
Every time you guys take a shit, think of me. But what do you think about the whole Karen thing?
Man, honestly, I mean, in reality, I think it's hilarious. I think it's super fun. Like, I'm a person, like, my thing is... Like,
hold on a second. Look at Heidi. She corrected me. Thomas Crapper, like a true Karen. Look at you, running. Look at you.
It's in her blood. She can't help it. Heidi cannot help it. Like, as much as she would...
DNA.
Yeah, as much as she does not want to correct anybody, she wants to be just nonchalant and chill, but she has to do it. She cannot help it. Karens at FDF? No, I didn't have any Karens at FDF. I thought I would have had one, but actually all of our service was pretty good. So, but here's the thing, like with the Karens, I honestly don't care. Like, me, I'm real laid back, and I like to laugh. I think everything should be laughed at. You know what I mean? Like, you should be allowed to laugh at any and everything, whether it's offensive, whether it could be traumatic. I mean, you just kind of I'd rather laugh at something than be down and just in some type of turmoil over it when it's not that big of a deal. And I'm sure it's easy for me to laugh at because I'm not on the side, getting made fun of. But again, even when I am, I still generally laugh at the shit. I just think that like people have gotten to a point where any and everything is upsetting. Like people are like looking for a reason to be upset. Like it's a first world problem of everything else that's going on. Somebody being called a name because they happen to be quick to complain to a manager or nitpick at certain things. I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think it's funny. Just like I think a lot of stereotypes are pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, the only thing that ever really gets under my skin with any of like the stereotyping or name calling, I mean, other than like it's just usually most of the time it's unnecessary, ridiculous. But the only thing that really bothers me about it sometimes is like, when somebody says something to you and then you say it back, but then you're in the wrong for saying something back. It's like, it's like if a gay person says something about a straight person, and then I say something about a gay person, like you can't say that, you're homophobic, you're this or that, or a black person and a white person, or whatever, an immigrant and a illegal immigrant and a legal citizen. That's the only thing I don't like about it. It's like if you're gonna poke the stick at me, don't get mad when I take my claws out.
Yeah. Exactly. I think
you know what I mean?
I think everything should be allowed for everybody. Now, individuals have to deal with whatever, circumstance of how a person may respond. Again, we not all gonna follow the same rules, but I don't think it's a big deal. If you want to say it, if you feel like you're willing to take whatever consequences that come, but I think everybody should be able to say everything. You know what I mean? I don't feel like what's off should be off limits for anybody. You know, I feel like I should be able to use all the derogatory terms in my repertoire. You know, and anybody else should be allowed to too. I mean, it's all fun and well, not fun and games. Some people are really offended by it, but
Yes.
I have no problem with it, man. Like that's my thing.
Yes, people who don't like Homer Simpson are called homerphobic. That's what.
Homersexual.
That's if you're attracted to Homer Simpson. You know, on a side note, I was reading about Islam and the Prophet Muhammad and his son-in-law Ali, and then I was reading how Hitler was like very fond of the Islam because he thought it was like very the way that they viewed the world was very like prestigious of like their own race. And he liked the fact that Islam was very against like black people, so he like was like very into Islam. It was so much so that the Klan in America, the KKK in America, they actually named their I guess their playbook, if you want to call it that, after the Quran, and they called it the Chloran, and they used the KL. And anytime they would use like words like conversation would be clanversation, you know, convenient would be clanvenient, kind of like what the Bloods and Crips do, where they take out like the certain letters.
Yes.
And I had like a breaking moment. Heidi's last name starts with KL, Heidi Kleindice. I think we're onto something.
It would be fitting, it would be suiting, and it would be appropriate. Oh, that's terrible.
But you got anything else? You got any questions? Anything on your mind?
No, I don't think I do.
All right. Well, I for once I stayed under the 10-minute rule. You're welcome, everybody.
Well, that's a bit. Well, Mr. John, my favorite New Yorker, is good to hear from you, sir, man, and I appreciate your call.
All right, take care. Take care, everybody. Bye.
All right, have a good one. Okay. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
It's Karen. I'm very offended by what you said. I want to speak to your manager, Mr. Honcho.
Not only am I the host, I'm also the manager.
Oh, let's speak to the general. I'm just kidding. What's up with Dan, bro?
Dan, the motherfucking man with the plan. What's going on, Dan? How you feeling this evening, sir?
Man, I'm laughing at this shit, bro. This is hilarious. Like, and I didn't even know. That article you put up. I didn't even know that Twitter was the people. I expected that. I didn't realize there was some Twitter so-called journalists who made some article about that, because they're not even journalists. They're a bunch of bloggers and social activists.
Correct.
You know, those types. But the term Karen, in my humble opinion, a Karen is a entitled, spoiled, middle-aged, sometimes younger, white woman, and that's the general archetype. Now it goes into more things, like sometimes they have like 2 or 3 kids and things like that. They're anti-vaxxers. Their kids listen to Kids Bop while they're cursing someone out over something stupid. They can't handle their problems effectively. And there's one thing about making a formal complaint about something that's legitimate concern, and then like trying to get someone fired over something stupid, like forgetting napkins in the the bag of food you hand them because they can't cook their own fucking food. Yeah. That's why half the Karens I've seen usually have paunched bellies and shit. They got that Dunlap syndrome. And shit like that. I don't fuck with Karens, bro. And Karens are all on Twitter. They're all checkmark. Well, not all of them. They all think that their issues are so fucking important. You know, the entitlement.
Yeah.
The self-aggrandizement.
Yes.
You know, like, look, you ain't that fucking special, sister, okay? Calm the fuck down. I know if you can't take a joke, then just stay off Twitter for a month, because every 2 minutes something's trending that's going to piss you off. Something is what it is. Twitter's a fucking cesspool of a certain mindset.
Yes. It's terrible.
That's why I'm not on there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, fuck Twitter, too. But now on the other subject, when you mentioned should Karen be equated to the N-word, I think so.
Really?
Yeah. Let me explain, sir. Let me explain.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, look at the N-word now, but that, I mean, we mean nigga, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, look at black people. We say nigga to each other. I mean, how many times have I said nigga besides the last 3 times I just said it?
Yeah.
Quite a few times, because I heard it since I was a kid. So we need to start calling these Karens.
Mm-hmm.
And in a fun manner, in a, you know, jovial manner, you know. Maybe take off the E-N and add an A, like, what's up, Kara, or some shit. I don't know. That's what black people did. You know, we supposedly turned this negative word around and made it positive, which black people fucked up when we did that. We made a big mistake.
Yeah. Oh.
And this is a little segue, because I was actually thinking about this. Name me one other ethnicity in this country that uses a term that was meant to offend and dehumanize them in a positive manner. And I wouldn't say positive, in a friendly manner.
None of them. They just took out. They took nigga. They was just like, fuck it. Well, they already used it.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck it. We're not gonna call myself.
We should have thrown that in the trash. Exactly. You don't hear Jewish people, Asian people. You might hear some white people. But I mean, look, that's some bona fide, you know, trash right there.
Yeah.
But have them say nigga too. I've heard. And here's one thing kills me. Like some of these ethnicities get into rapping and stuff. Like I remember there's a thing I saw on Vlad TV. It was right after coronavirus hit, and it was at China Mac.
Oh.
He was mad about how like people are mad at Chinese people for various reasons, and a lot of the comments were like, "Man, fuck this dude. Now you know how it feels, bro. You've been saying nigga for 26 years and shit. Now, you know." Now you're like, I need to talk about how this makes me feel. This undue hate, like, bro, you've been off nigga culture for a few years. Yeah. So here's some of the negative aspects of it.
Exactly.
But yo, China Mac a real nigga. He stabs him, but I ain't playing with that boy.
Yeah, I seen a Vlad with him a while, but it was some years ago, or a couple of years ago, maybe. I didn't know who he was. I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, this shit's funny, man. But yeah, I mean, look, bro, like. This whole thing about, like, turning a name, saying it's the N-word, that is bullshit. Because, like, the N-word, black people fucked that up. We really did not control that. We should have just said, hey, look, you can't call us that. We don't call each other that. Every ethnicity follows that rule. Why? I don't know why we decided that was a good idea. I don't know.
I mean, it's a very good point. I mean, look, this is how crazy it is, right? If you call Jews rich, they get together, they form this super Jew, and they will come after your ass. They will fucking like, no, we don't accept that. We don't like that you know, label. And to most people, to think that somebody is rich or good with their money, they don't consider that offensive. But to them, it's like you cannot say anything next. So you get out there and start slanging some of those words around. They're gonna get together. Because who was it that said something about a Jew? Was it Ice Cube or somebody said something on one of them out? And they like,
I think Ice Cube, yeah.
And they were on that shit like quickly. They was like not having that shit. It wasn't even. It was actually somebody recently too. Who was it?
Oh,
was it something? It was a line from a song that LeBron was listening to, and he played it on his It was a 21 Savage song. That's what it was. It was something. He said something about, I don't know if he said like Jew money or something. He said something about a Jew, and it wasn't even like offensive. It wasn't any like negative slang about Jews or anything like that. Mm-hmm. He just said something along the lines of associating Jews with money, and they were upset about it. After LeBron played the little clip on his fucking story, like they went after him. They started muting it on the little streaming services. Like, wow, really? Mm-hmm. You know, but yeah, keep playing nigga. You know, nigga this, nigga that, and it is what it is. No second, guessing about it. But hey, it is what it is, I guess. We accepted the shit.
Exactly. What it is a lot of people make money off of black dysfunction, but when you try to bring them up in not even a similar manner, just and mentioning their ethnicity or race or even gender in some sort of way, they have an issue with it. This is what that's called controlling your image, and that's where we fucked up.
Yeah.
And it's too late now. This Pandora's box already open. There's no shoving all that shit back in there. Just let this shit ride. I mean, fuck it.
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, my nigga? You know what I'm saying?
It's straight up, my nigga. Because it's, I mean, honestly, it's a fight. It's a fight that ain't worth fighting at this point. You know, like
it's not.
Like you said, it's Pandora's box. It's like too far out of our reach. You know, because it's like say once you made it cool, and then everybody says it. It is what it is, and then it's like you said, nobody else does that. Nobody, no other race. Associates, the only other group of people who takes a negative and really applies it as a positive, fucking prostitutes, hoes. They accept being hoe. Like you're a hoe, a real live fucking prostitute knows what she is, whether she a pimp, with a pimp or a renegade. She accepts being a hoe, and she embraces the term hoe. That's the only other group of people I can think of. Like I'm just sitting here that embrace a negative term, and it's actually sad that that's the case, But. It is what it is, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I think with the whole thing, Karen. Back to Karen, but very good point as well, sir. I think the thing with Karen is it involves a white woman, and white women right now have had a lot of focus on them and the society in general with the whole Me Too, Time's Up movement. It's mostly been white women involved in that, and I think a lot of people are done with them complaining. Now, I'm not saying some of that stuff wasn't legitimate. Some of these dudes out here on some nasty fucking shit. Harvey Weinstein was a sick bitch. Yeah. A lot of these other dudes out here. But that's not every man. So a lot of the guys who are on the internet, they're still like, oh, this woman complaining. Yeah. Karen, yeah, sure. Yeah. Look, stereotypes aren't born on thin air. They come from a certain archetype, a certain generalization of a certain type of people. And this comes from generalization of white women. Yeah. I met some very great white women, But I've also met some Karens, and fuck Karen, dude. I'm telling you. Yeah. I mean, when I was a server, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's just so crazy how somebody's name is really has people considering that this is being an offensive term. But go ahead. I'm sorry. You said when you were a server.
Oh, when I was a server / whatever. I met quite a few Karens. It wasn't like, and I would say I was good at my job. I really made mistakes, and they say something like. I remember one time I had 8 tables. That it was the middle of summer, so it was hot, and I was sweating a little bit. And this one Karen, her and her friends, they're all military wives, which is more entitlement right there. They don't get me started. Yeah. A military wife Karen it's like peanut butter and jelly. It just the cohesion is it's pure. It's silk. She's like, oh my God. You're so disgusting. I want a different server. And I just got their drinks, and she's already insulting me. Mm-hmm. And I told my man, she's like, can I speak to your manager? I was like, okay, I'll get my manager, ma'am. I apologize. I was polite. I didn't curse her out. I didn't call her a bitch. None of that. I never did that any customer I ever had. Mm-hmm. And my manager, and he's like, okay, man, just tell yourself off, and then I guess go serve these assholes. Because, I mean, he was like me, like, dude, you've been busy as shit all day. It's insane, bro. Mm-hmm. That they see me busy. They got their little pasta and all their wines. I wonder which one of them bitches was driving. I don't even care anymore. I just don't care. Fuck people.
Yeah.
But let's just say that. Look, fuck people. People suck. How about that? Now, I think that's something we can all agree with.
Yeah, but here's the thing, like with people too, and I can agree with you on that. That a lot of people are really trash. But for all the terrible people out there. You come across those gems that make it, worthwhile. And it just that gives you a little bit of hope, here and there. But for the most part, I would agree with you. But the majority of people are sheep-like, and I don't even think people realize half the shit that they do. But I agree. I think the majority of people do kind of suck, and it's not that they intentionally want to suck. I just think they don't realize it. But nonetheless, they're still garbage people. And yeah, I can rock with you on that. But like I say, just every now and then, you come across those good people that make it worthwhile, man.
Yeah, you're right, bro. You're absolutely right, man. And that's all I had about Karen, man. And just black people, I'd say we need to do a better job controlling our image, but that ship has sailed and it already sunk. So just look out for you and yours, man. And look. Just Karen runs Twitter, so just be careful about Twitter, man. Karen runs Twitter, bro.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you.
That's actually a good.
That's all I got, bro.
A good statement. We might talk about that controlling the image thing a little bit more about that. That's that point you brought up about we're being the only ones that we embrace it. That's actually a very excellent point. I'd like to talk about that some more. So we'll talk about that in the near future, though.
Okay, I'm glad I helped out the show and the conversation. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. Okay. Well, shout out to Dan the man with the plan. Dan the A+ man with the plan.
Oh, thank you, sir. I'm about to start summer classes next week, so it'll probably be B- at that point. A bunch of math classes.
Oh, you're going to be back. You're going to be all right, man. I think you'll be straight. I have no worries. About Dan the man. I think when you put your mind to it, you're going to do it. I think you'll come out and surprise yourself.
I'm going to try, bro. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the vote of confidence.
All right, that's a bit. Well, that's a bit, Mr. Dan. Like I said, I appreciate you calling in, and we'll talk to you real soon.
All right, shout out to the Dan. I want to read the chat because I forgot to piss somebody off. All right, have a good night, man.
All right, Dan, that's a bit, man. Appreciate it.
All right, bro.
All right. Shout out to Dan. This should be very interesting. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
You know who it is, Ed.
Sounds very familiar.
Brian,
yeah, I should have. I didn't have my finger on the mute button. But yes, Miss Angela, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you, Ed?
I'm doing well, Miss Ed. Miss Ed, Miss Angela.
Yeah, start on the Karen thing because I have no idea what you're talking about. The Karen thing. But before we start on the Karen, why is it easy as hell to get into your soft sports than the den?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Listen, let me on your panel on soft sports. Let me on your panel.
Yeah, I would never do that. Maybe next time we play Atlanta, I will. Next time we.
But you know all that be in the background, huh?
I mean, no, man. I mean, I would enjoy it. So next time if we ever come across the Falcons again, you're more than welcome. That is that's the deal. Next time we have
No, Ed. Now when we play them, let me on the panel.
No, nobody would hear about that shit. Nobody wants to hear about the Falcons if they don't have to hear about the Falcons. Like nobody wants that torture.
I'll be alone, and they be acting like y'all got something more than we do, and we know that you don't. Okay, now let's get to the Karen. What does that mean? Just a quick rundown. What are you talking about the Karen thing?
A Karen is basically a reference to a white woman who tends to complain easily, if you will, that asks for the manager, even in some of the most mundane situations, who is likely to request a refund for poor service, even though the service may not be that bad. Generally associated with the pixie cut, like the woman in the background. And I don't know who this lady is, so whoever's on these pictures.
That's the lady who got all the kids that got the show. Kate +8.
Okay. Well, shout out to Kate. Kate is close to Karen. Switch up a few letters.
Well,
right there.
Yeah, that's Kate +8. So that's who that is in your background. Now, let me tell you something. Yeah, internet is petty as hell. I'm just saying. Okay. The white women been doing this since forever, so what's the fucking problem now? What's the problem? If you say the definition of a Karen, white woman doing this and that, okay, that's not Karen. That might be Becky, Jessica, or any goddamn body.
But in Becky, I think Becky is like terminology for a younger Karen, and Becky has more of a sexual experimentation connotation to it. You know what I'm saying? Becky has a different, situation. Becky is like 18 to like 24, and then it's kind of like Pokemon. She start evolving, and then she evolves from a Becky into a full grown Karen. You know what I'm saying? So there it is.
So is this term is being used as a certain type of white woman?
Yes. Karen is basically the new terminology just like Becky is basically a reference for a sexually active younger white woman. Karen is more of a reference for the middle-aged, wants to see your manager and get a refund. At Golden Corral type of white woman.
Well, I mean, that's a new type of white woman for me because I don't really see white women acting the fool trying to get refunds. I'm just going to be honest. It be us most of the time. So that's something new for me. Now listen, if they do that behind closed doors, okay? And they get their refund. I don't see a white woman acting the fool at Golden Corral. I don't see no white woman acting the fool at Texas Longhorns. I don't understand what it is.
You gotta go look for I think there's a video of Karen acting up at Red Lobster.
Okay. That's why I say I gotta Google this Karen thing.
Like a Karen would be. Remember who was the one that they called like Permit Patty and Barbecue Becky. Yeah, those would be variations of Karens also.
Oh, I get it now. Okay, yeah, the internet is petty.
So what would be the black version of a Karen? What would you call them?
The black Gail.
Gail, like a Gail. Wow, really? Okay, Gail King is the black Karen. Okay.
If you're explaining it how I explain it, it's Gail King. That's the black version of a Karen. Gail King.
Okay, I can rock with that. I can definitely.
Yeah, I mean, if it's the way you're explaining it, it's Gail to me. I mean, I watch her here and there. It's not my watch because I never even really liked Gail because she's a robot, Oprah, and her affiliates, but her bosses. But listen, and I guess she's a black.
Fuck! Whoa! What the fuck?
I'm a hater.
You're a hater.
I'm not a hater. Yeah, I am a hater. When it comes to football and baseball, basketball, and college football, yes, I am the biggest hater in the world. So, yeah. But when it comes to shit like that, I'm a hater.
If I stabbed myself somehow, that was odd. Huh? Did you say I'm nervous? No, absolutely not. No, actually, there's something on the ground.
Hey, let me say something to your boy, Third Coast Sports TV. Tell Ed to let me on the panel, Third.
Nobody wants to hear what you have to say about
Sports TV. Tell your boy to let me on the panel.
Nobody, not even Falcons fans,
I just
want
to
talk
defend
about the
myself.
Falcons.
I just want to defend myself. That's all I want to do.
No, it's not a spider. I stepped on a toothpick and it kind of went in my foot a little bit. So it wasn't even like a hole. It was like a little piece of a toothpick. And so that's why I guess I was like, what the fuck?
So will Hillary be declared as a Karen?
With who?
Hillary.
Would Hillary be a Karen? Hillary is a killer, not a Karen.
Okay, I'll take that.
Terrible. Yeah.
No, you terrible. You the one said it. I didn't say it. So how you gonna say terrible? You said it.
I mean, sometimes I do terrible things too. So I can't help it.
So with what's that white lady on YouTube who talk about black folks all the time? What is her name?
Who?
I can't. She probably the ultimate.
There's a white lady on YouTube that talks about black people all the time.
Yeah, yes it is. I'm gonna give you her name. I can't.
What part of YouTube you be on? So y'all be finding some stuff on YouTube that just be some other stuff be going on. So y'all, like I say, y'all be in the YouTube hood. Y'all be in the YouTube streets. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Y'all be across MLK. If like YouTube was a city, so y'all be across the MLK. Y'all be in the YouTube hood. I don't be over there. You know what I'm saying? It be some other shit going down the YouTube hood. I don't want nothing to do with that. I stay like right across the tracks. So I ain't that far from the YouTube hood. You know what I'm saying? I'm around the corner, but I'm not crossing MLK. I ain't finna.
I be on both sides of them tracks, so I don't give a damn. I be on both sides.
See, that's what you do. You hood hopping in these YouTube streets.
But I don't comment though because some of this should be brutal. Like you just can't comment in everybody's chat. You just put your ass back and listen. But I'm gonna get her name and I'm gonna tell you. But boy, she dogs black women the worst. Like black is the worst. And I'm gonna tell you who she came up under before she got big. Soto.
So you talking about that chick? She got glasses?
Mm-hmm.
I think I seen her in one like a while back. I think we had, like you said, like a
Soto.
little group of people.
Soto.
Yeah, they used to have like a little group of people. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think. I don't think she would definitely. I don't think she would necessarily be labeled a Karen.
She works.
She just. Yeah. She probably. It would be some different terminology. Yeah, there's some different stuff that you would say.
Not.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. But I listened to what she said, and let me tell you why. Because I'd rather your enemy be out front and open,
yes,
or whoever, I'd rather you just come out and fucking say the shit. So that's why I kind of respect her, lady. She just come out and say what the fuck is on her mind, like how she feels about us. She does. She don't hide it. She don't wait till she's your boss, and then know she secretly feel like that. She tells people how she feels. So, with the Karen thing, I guess it is what it is. Hell, we've been called nigga for years. So it is what it is.
Do you think Karen is as bad of a term as nigga?
No.
Because see, some people feel that way.
No, it's not. It's not. It might be to the Caucasian folks, I guess, if they really feel like Karen is what you call a sellout in our hood. So maybe it is to them. But to me, no. Just like really nigga is not really, like if you walk up to me and call me a nigga, I'm not going to go to jail. I'm just going to laugh at your ass. Like for real. I'm laughing. It's funny now. I'm not going to go to jail. I'm not going to hit you in the face. I'm not going to spit on you. I'm just going to crack the fuck up. Like, is you serious? I'm supposed to get mad. And I've been called that. Especially in the profession I was working in, I've been called that a lot of times.
Really?
Mm-hmm. A whole lot. You see, I was with that job 18 years. So out of the 18 years, I was called a nigga maybe 100 times.
Well, goddamn.
Mm-hmm.
Is this amongst clients or coworkers?
Them too. No. Well, I'm going to tell you something. It's funny you said that. Because my daughter and my husband knew about this coworker I had. Ooh, boy, that was the... If KKK had a person walking around, it would have been him. But he sat next to me in the office. But, didn't nobody want to sit next to him because they didn't like what he was saying in that rhetoric. I'm the only one that'll sit next to him. Because what the fuck you can express your opinion. I mean, you ain't finna do nothing to me or nobody else in this damn office. But one thing about it, he always protected the black women. Go figure. He couldn't stand the black men. He'll try to get them out of that office the best way he could.
Was he trying to get some of that chocolate poontang pie?
Well, maybe, but not for me. Maybe. Because he already knew how I was and how strong I was. So we actually got along. And they didn't like me for that because me and him, because we had an understanding. I don't, when Obama was in office, when we worked together them whole 8 years when Obama was in office. I had to hear every single day, every day about Obama and this and that, which it didn't affect my life. He had an opinion. He didn't jump up and call me any names or try to strike me because I disagreed. I'd rather you come out and be open. So if everybody got to be a Karen, as y'all explained, then be a fucking Karen. If you got to be a nigga in front of everybody's face. Don't hide the shit. Do it.
Okay.
Oh, I appreciate you stopping through last night with your little eyes.
Well, sometimes I just be ear hustling, every now and then.
I know. I appreciate you stopping through. I'm just letting you know I appreciate that very much.
Well, thank you, man. You see, look, you over there braiding hair. I gotta get my wig split.
Yes.
Over here looking rough. But yes.
Well, I'll never look rough. So COVID didn't affect me because I've always been able to do my own hair. I only go get my hair done which I only be in braids if I go when I don't feel like doing my own. So with this COVID stuff, it really didn't affect me because I always kept braiding hair. I always know how to do my hair, my eyelashes. If I want my nails done, I know how to do that. So that's what people, if this didn't teach y'all the lesson, not to go to Yao Ming them, put their clothes and learn how to do the shit yourself.
Interesting.
I'm just saying. So Yao Ming them, you know, like my nail tech, her name was Yao Ming, but I ain't been there, and I'm not going anywhere. 2020. And let me tell you this, Ed, I still have my season tickets, but I'm selling every one of them seats this year. Y'all not going to get me like that. I'm not sitting within 1 inch. Y'all know how those stadium seats are. I'm good. Good.
I mean, so you should be thankful that the 19 came through and gave you an excuse to get rid of those seats. You know, I know you've been wanting to do that for a while now. I mean, I know
didn't get rid of them. I still own them. I can sell my tickets for how much as I want to sell them for.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a rebuild for y'all anyway. So just sell them. You know, just do yourself a favor. Just
Shut up, Ed. What y'all gonna do? What y'all
probably fuck around and stumble into winning the division again and go to the playoffs and then.
I know. I got one question I kept asking in your South Sports. How many AFC titles does the Texans have?
How many AFC? The entire conference titles?
No. Let's say the AFC, whatever, South, North, East, whatever y'all. I said South. AFC.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. AFC, the entire conference, not just the division.
Right.
We have the same amount that you have.
Do you really? Ed.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yes.
How many y'all have?
0.
So you telling me we don't have no NFC title?
See, now did you hear what you? But see, that's the thing.
No,
we're not talking about NFC. You asked how many AFC. You asked how many AFC titles we have.
Titles do y'all have?
The same amount of AFC titles you have.
No, shut up, Ed.
That's what you talking about. That was the question. I answered the question truthfully.
Okay. Do y'all have? Okay, let me rephrase. Do you have any AFC titles?
No. Do you?
Oh, okay. Now, all right. So can you let me on your panel, please?
No. What does that have to do with anything? And that's even worse right there. You know what I'm saying? That's even worse right there because you're an NFC opponent. So we're not even going to see you like that.
It'd be lit over there. Y'all be lit. I just want to get lit with y'all.
See, it's a different kind of lit that we talking about. You know, y'all on some other stuff. I don't know what y'all do out there in hot Atlanta. But
well, they be mad at me too. You just be sitting there looking too. They be so mad.
Yeah, you be on their shenanigans and tomfoolery. Real quick, one more question, real quick. Because I talked about something the other day, and I would like to know your thoughts. Okay. I had a conversation that are black women bad moms, and I used 2 images.
Just Sarah donated $2 through Super Chat. Channel. Ed, damn it! Crying face, crying face, smiley
Black
face,
China
smiley face.
And Tokyo Tony, and they were scuffling. I remember I left a message and I said this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And so, do you think that that's a common thing? That what they have going on, do you think that happens a lot more than we want to recognize or realize?
You talking about with her mama?
I'm talking about black women and their moms.
Yes, it does. I've seen it firsthand. Now, no, I'm not going to lie to you. It does. I've seen it firsthand with best friends, even my sisters. With me, I'm going to tell you for me first. I'm going to tell you for me first. I always respected my girls, even my son, to where they respect me. Now, I'm not going to lie. We've got into it, but they never disrespected me to that point. Now, as far as the video, you said that was the worst thing. Because I was like, this is terrible. This is terrible. You should show your audience one day. Like, it's terrible. And if any black, only because they were black, that's why we speaking of this. Agree with that? Her mom is mad because Black China making all their money, okay? And this and that. So it's filmed out before that. So they ain't never really loved each other like that, or Black China never respected her like that. Because no matter how much she got rich or how much money she got, she would have never disrespected her mama like that if they didn't already have that type of relationship. Because my daughter would never do me like that. They already had that type of relationship.
Okay. Just curious about your thoughts on that. And, okay. Okay, all right. Well, is there, huh?
But it is.
Yes, it is what it is.
All that is them before she got money and got paid. Point blank. Because why would you buy your car and snatch it back? She said one thing.
Yes, that's a weird dynamic there. Real weird dynamic.
There's a moment for us, like we tend to do, and since this COVID, Rona, hood rat, been around, these damn videos on Facebook, Instagram.
I didn't hear the last part. We should have said the videos on Facebook and Instagram. What happened? It cut out after that.
It's been
Just
terrible.
Sarah donated $2 through Super Chat.
Terrible.
Honcho the main Sancho shirts on sale now. Eyes, romantic face, sparkling heart, growing heart.
You ain't been looking.
I mean, honestly, I haven't been on the net. Honestly, like, the only time I'm really getting online is like right before I stream. Other than that, I haven't been as consistently checking out things as of late.
Well, don't do it. Just free your eyes.
I'm finna go check out all this shit. I'm finna talk about it. I'm finna go wild. Finna go nuts. But definitely check this. So yeah, I'm gonna check out what you talking about, and what you got to check out is check out Karen videos, because you're gonna see that this Karen thing it's a thing. It's a thing now. It's part of society.
Right. It's new to me, and I'm glad I tuned in. But I will be looking this up because this is new. Even with me being on social media, I just haven't seen that.
Yeah, definitely check it out. You're gonna see it. It's a thing. Oh, you're gonna see plenty of it. Just Karen
they
Jackson.
Still being petty. The internet just being petty.
But I mean, that's the internet is undefeated. That's what they do. That's how this whole thing works. So
yeah, it is.
It's just it's funny to me. Okay.
Well, good talking to you.
Yes,
the next time I'm in South Sports, please. Okay, let me get on the panel.
I'm not gonna do that.
I'm with
you. But
you're a hater.
How am I hater?
I'm not a hater.
It's people. It's people who actually talk about Houston sports that have reached out to me that want to get on, that I have yet to be able to link up with. So why would I bring someone who has no connection to Houston sports whatsoever, an Atlanta person of all things? We're already having an issue talking about our terrible sports. We don't want to talk about Atlanta's terrible sports also.
But you're a hater.
I'm a hater because I don't want to talk about Atlanta sports.
Yes. Okay, hater.
That's tough, man.
Good talking to y'all, Ed.
Yes, ma'am.
Good talking to y'all. I'm here. I'll be even if I'm not in the live, I always go back and look at your videos as always.
Okay. Well, that is greatly appreciated.
And again, thanks for coming to support me last night. Showing up.
Yeah, like I say, if I'm on and I catch you on, I slide in. I'll be over there listening. I can't believe she said that. Shame on Angela. But hey, keep doing your thing. I love to see your growth. I love to see you growing and doing your thing. So you keep
Thank
it up.
You, Ed.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. All right. Appreciate it. All right, y'all.
I'll talk to you soon. All right. Shout out to Miss Angela. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
It's Belle. I had to represent at some point tonight.
Yes, ma'am. How are you doing this evening, Miss Belle?
I'm doing fine. I was just sitting back and listening to everybody's chatter and waiting my turn.
Okay. So what are your thoughts on the term Karen, Miss Belle?
I can honestly say at some point in my life I've had some Karen behavior. Am I proud of that? No. Do I think it's derogatory as much as the N-word? No, I don't. Do I think it's a nice definition of what a Karen is? Absolutely not. However, it does represent a certain populace of white women. And as in my younger days, I've been known to have Becky moments, but not all the time. So I think that it's great for description, but it's definitely a negative referencing. You know?
So in some of your prior Becky moments, did you also wear the authenticated Karen hairstyle?
Hell no.
Well, what's wrong with the Karen hairstyle?
No, I've always worn my hair long. I've never done that whole, like, bougie, uppity, town and country haircut, no.
Okay. That's interesting. Why do you think that haircut is associated with that?
Actually, the person that you had up, Kate plus 8, she's kind of a perfect example of what I would see as a quote-unquote Karen. I think that that's sort of representing over-the-top, entitlement, and expecting to be heard regardless of whether it's deserved or not. Do I think all white women fit in this category? Absolutely not. I mean, just like not everybody's a Jerome or a this or a that or the other thing. But it does serve a purpose for a certain sect of white women.
So you said that you've had Karen moments in the past. What triggered your Karen moments?
Usually it was either I was in retail, and I have worked in retail on and off for 20 years, so I knew what was wrong and right was right. So it wasn't even a matter of my actually being a Karen. It was just me sticking up for the fact that people were being dumbasses. And I'd have to say the other one is in the hospitals, dealing with my husband and dealing with my kids when I knew things weren't right.
Okay.
So other than that, those are probably the two biggest times when I've absolutely had Karen monster moments.
Okay. Is being a Karen, is it a feeling?
It's more of a attitude. It's more of a behavior, I think, than an actual quote-unquote look. I think it's easily to mistake somebody that would be looked at as what they call pretty people white as all Karens or Beckys, because that's usually the first kind of description that people see, is that the pretty person white or the pretty person, you know, middle age kind of thing, as being the Beckys or the Karens. And that's not always the general description, because it can be his behavior, not always looks. And attitude.
Okay. You still think you got some Karen in you, if you need to use it?
Yeah, I get some entitlement every once in a while, and I think part of that's being older. And it doesn't make it right. It just means sometimes I feel like I should. Doesn't mean I actually should.
Have you ever regretted a Karen moment?
Nope.
Okay. Good.
Because if it needed to be said, it needed to be said, you know? Feel like embarrassing the family? No, but you know what? They got over it because it got taken care of.
Okay. So it was more about the results than the action, you would say?
Yeah. And I think some of it's from not feeling heard for a long time and knowing that you have to take a stand for yourself if you've not been heard. You know, just like that Karen at Red Lobster, I'm sure it's the fact that she probably didn't have to go over the top to be heard by the manager, but maybe she wasn't being heard at home, or she wasn't being heard on her job, or somebody had said that it comes from a place of fear. I don't think it comes from fear. I think it comes from a feeling of not feeling validated and not being heard. And not feeling like you have to explain yourself because you know you're in the right, which may or may not be true.
So is it kind of something that's like, as you say, from the feeling of not being heard, is it something that's built up, or is it just, maybe like a respect factor thing, or, how would you explain the not being heard part of it?
Honestly, I have no idea from other people, but just being invalidated by people and just being, just not being validated, just not being treated as though, your request or you're asking somebody to do something was worth their time.
Okay.
Okay, ask Broderick, why is he pulling his toenails out?
It's a fetish that he has.
That is just, okay, way not going there.
Yeah, it's something about, that's definitely a Friday talking dirty after dark. If I ever show up on Friday, I feel like I need to. But, okay, so it's about validation. It's kind of, instead of feeling of getting looked over, not being, given the respect that you feel that you're due. Okay. I don't know.
I think the fact that white women generally haven't been in I'm going to say this with not knowing, but haven't always been known for being over the top zealous about wanting to get their way, as much in the media as it's probably been maybe in the last 5 or 6 years that it's really been microscoped on. And I do see that black women have always had that spotlight put on them about that behavior, and I think that is really sad that it's been done that way. And not all women, but just the fact that it's been done, period.
Okay. And yes, John, Toe Jam and Earl was a great game. Toe Jam and Earl was the shit. I think they remade one recently. I don't think it was as good though. Okay. So what we were sitting here thinking, and I'm asking you the same question I've asked some of the previous callers. What do you think would be the proper correlation for a black Karen? What would you call a black Karen?
Honestly, I have no clue. Maybe a Shaniqua or it's usually the name that's of African descent or that's not as readily normal. I mean, I don't want to say normal, but of average set. I know black Karens, I know white Karens. I know black Angelas, and I know white Angelas. So you've got names that are common to American Place, and then you have names that are different, that parents want to give them an ethnic twist to it. And those are the ones that tend to get called out because their name has that ethnic twist.
Do you know any Alizés or Aquanettas?
Say that again?
So do you know any Alizés or Aquanettas?
No, I do not.
Oh.
Doesn't mean I haven't. I mean, no, I haven't at this point.
Okay.
I've met quite a few people with Afrocentric names, but it's much easier, and that's the reason Karen got the name that she did, is because it's a commonplace white name. It represents middle America. Karen's one of those Mary, Jane, Catherine kind of things. And that's what Karen probably came in.
Okay.
That's pretty much all I got.
Okay. I mean, I actually have a question. This is random. It has absolutely nothing to do with anything Karen related.
Okay.
Ms. Bell, have you ever drank malt liquor?
Yes.
Which kind?
Oh, God, it's been years. Well, Bottles and James is all considered malt liquor. Like your wine coolers are considered malt liquor. What do they call Old English 800?
Old English?
Yep. Okay. Every so often on a Sunday, my husband would get a quart of it, and we would share a couple of glasses on the patio after church.
Okay.
And then there's another brand in there that I can't remember, but they used to sit right next to each other.
Okay. What was it? What was the one? Who was it that had the cool logo? Mickey's? Was it Mickey's that had the little...
That's the short green ones.
Yeah, it was a little bee or whatever was on that shit.
Yeah, these were all glass quart bottles. As a matter of fact, I had forgotten that beer came in glass quart bottles until I went to Florida, because in Massachusetts, it's generally either cans or glass single bottles. But Old English 800? Old English 800 or something was the one that I remember. But there was another one that he used to drink too.
Okay, are you talking about slits with the bull on it?
Well, yeah, that was there too. That's an old brand. But there's like two more that also come in that. As a matter of fact, Budweiser came in a brown bottle.
The Colt 45.
That's what it was, Colt 45. We didn't drink that, but I remember seeing that one.
That's rough.
Yeah.
you might rather get shot than drink Colt 45, but okay.
I will give you this confession.
Yes.
The first time I ever actually enjoyed gin and juice was with my husband.
Were you listening to Snoop Dogg?
What?
Were you listening to Snoop Dogg as you enjoyed your gin and juice?
No, I think we were listening to Marvin Gaye, but it was pink grapefruit juice, and it was one of the better gins, but I never cared for the taste of it until that point. It was Tanqueray.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I generally drink top shelf, so.
Okay.
But yeah, so. Anything else? Are we good for the night?
We are good for the evening, Miss Bell. The bell has rung and class is in session. I appreciate you for sharing your thoughts with us and, some of your caring experiences.
Sure. All right. Hopefully get a few more calls in before the end of the night, and y'all have a good one.
All right, Miss Bell, I appreciate you for calling. Thank you. Have a good evening.
All right, good night.
All right. We'll try to get us maybe one or two more in this evening. Interesting. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening? Hello. 10-9-8-7-6-5-4. I'm gonna come down. It's your partner 0. Well, I gotta hang up. Nobody's responding. Boy, Mad Dog 2020 is death. All that stuff is death. Mad Dog gave and took from me what could have been one of the best nights of my life. You know what I'm saying? What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Damn, I forgot I had your ass muted.
Well, thank you for that. That was very Karen-esque of you.
Wow, there you go with that bullshit. I was just going to say something about that. How you going to call me a Karen?
Well, have you ever worn a short pixie-style haircut, Miss Ladylicious?
I did. And you know what? And I posted that shit on Wild 'N Out one time, just to see what people had to say, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if y'all ever seen that on Facebook.
Wild 'N Out?
But I just put my pic, yeah.
I'm not familiar. With Nick Cannon?
Yeah, huh?
With Nick Cannon?
I don't know. Yeah, it's like supposed to be like that, but it's like a group or whatever on Facebook. But anyway, So people like put their pictures up and they're like, roast me or whatever, blah blah blah. I only had like 3 roasts. Like one of them was like, oh, you look like a white chick that has like 5 baby daddies and blah 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 type shit. Then I had somebody say, oh, you look like a Karen ass manager and shit. And I was like, damn. But that was even before Karen became a thing. That was actually like months ago when I put that out there. But as far as what Ms. Bell said of it being like an emotion or how a person acts or whatever, wouldn't Maria have been a Karen?
Yes, we were discussing that. Miss Maria, again, even though it's kind of odd, I guess doesn't necessarily fit the stereotype, Miss Maria would have been what you consider a Karen. It was very Karen-esque.
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh, I didn't know she said that. I thought I was going to be first count. Okay, but anyway. But yeah, that's about my only thing on Karen. I don't even know why that shit became such a thing.
So have you ever had a Karen experience? Have you ever pulled a Karen?
Yeah, hell yeah. We was at a restaurant, and so now my brother literally hates taking me out to dinner and stuff like that because I always complain about the food. But I'm like, if I get a steak and shrimp, and I'm talking about, and I wanted medium rare, and for some reason the whole fucking steak tastes burnt like a motherfucker, You got that whole charred taste, you can't taste nothing else, and it wasn't even medium rare. So I complained about the shit. But I don't feel like that's really being a Karen because I'm like, that's anybody. Like, you putting this much money into it, regardless of whether my brother was paying for it or not. You gonna do my fucking shit right.
Who it is in the background?
One of my employees.
Do you like that employee?
Julia.
Julia? Julia sounds like a Karen.
Julia.
Put Julia on the phone. Is Julia available to talk?
Hell no.
Why not?
Because I said so.
Put Julia on the phone. We only want like 30 seconds. We're going to ask one question. It won't be a long situation like the other.
Somebody online, the people, YouTube channel that I follow, they want to ask you a question. They want to ask you a question. A YouTube channel that I follow. Hold on. Let me put you on speaker. Hello?
Hello. Yes. Is Julia present?
Yeah. Oh, well, come over here, because I'm going to leave signals. I'm going to be saying phone.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yes. Is Julia present? This is Miss Julia?
I can't hear you. What?
I said, is this Miss Julia?
Yes.
Okay. Miss Julia, how are you today, this evening, Miss Julia?
Good. How are you?
I am excellent. Miss Julia, are you familiar with the term Karen?
No.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, how would you describe yourself ethnically?
White.
Right.
All right. About how old? I know sometimes women don't like to give their age range. You give me an age range if you don't want to give a specific age.
I'm sorry, what was that? I couldn't hear you.
Age range.
I said, how old?
I'm 22.
22. Okay. How would you describe Miss Angela?
Oh,
Miss Angela?
Yes.
Fun and sassy.
Fun and sassy. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Is she much of a complainer? Tell the truth.
Everybody's a bit of a complainer.
No, tell the truth about it. You won't get in trouble. If so, we'll get on that ass. You'll be all right. We got you. We got your back, Julia. Would you say she's a complainer?
She doesn't complain any more than the next person, so no, not really.
Don't be afraid, Angela. She ain't gonna do shit.
It's not gonna work, Honcho.
Yes, I see you. You got them well trained over there. All right, okay. Well, Miss Julia, what would you say is the worst thing about Miss Angela, Julia?
I'm sorry, what was it?
What would you say is the worst thing that you know about Angela?
she's late sometimes. You're welcome.
So you would say that she suffers from CPT?
I'm sorry, what?
Would you say that she suffers from CPT?
CPT.
I don't know what that is.
Colored people's time.
Seeing as I don't know what it is, no, I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Colored people time.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's terrible.
I've never heard that before in my life.
Oh, it's a young Karen in training. So what would you? Have you been in North Carolina your entire life?
I'm sorry, what was that? I couldn't hear you.
I said, have you lived there your entire life?
No.
Okay. Are you? How long have you lived in that area?
I've lived in this area for about 9 years.
About 9 years. Okay. All right. So most of when you were kind of discovering who you are as an individual, you would say that's kind of the area you grew up in as you were discovering who young Julie is becoming as a woman.
I really experienced that time when I lived in New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Would you say that you've been around a lot of black people, Miss Julia?
I think so. I mean, I don't remember a time where I didn't, I don't know. I guess. I don't know how to answer that question. I don't really think of it.
You have to be 100% out. Like, it doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong answer. Nobody gets offended. So, just be 100% you. So you would say that you feel like you have?
I think so, yes.
Okay, and how many black friends do you have?
I don't really have many friends, but I believe 3.
3?
Close friends, anyway, that I talk outside of work to, yeah. Okay. I only talk to 5 people outside of work.
So the 5 people that you talk to outside of work, 3 of those are black?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess those are good odds. That's okay. And what caused the move from New Hampshire?
I'm sorry, what was that?
And what caused the move from New Hampshire?
I cannot for the life of me.
What caused something in New Hampshire? You said something about New Hampshire.
The move. What caused the move? The move. What was the reason for the moving from New Hampshire?
Oh, I went from living with my mom to living with my dad.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, Miss Julie, I appreciate you being a good sport. I won't get into too much more of your business. We're going to harass Miss Angela a little bit more now.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Good night, Mr.
Bye.
Yes. Yeah, she's probably like. Yes. Miss Julia is not a Karen. She is a Becky.
No.
In about 3 to 4 more years, she'll definitely grow up into a Karen. So
Damn.
There's that.
You so damn silly.
All right, yeah, I just had to harass your friend for a little bit. Okay, that is hilarious that she has the track of the number of black friends she has. It's always very entertaining to me. But she shouldn't feel bad though, because I know how many black friends I have. So there's that.
Right. There.
That was actually a bad joke,
right
but
though, huh?
but yeah, I find it very funny. She don't know what color people time, but she definitely ain't been around too many black folks. But it is what it is. You're probably the blackest person Miss Julie's been around. So
probably so.
Yeah,
because Lexi's black and she damn sure.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. Okay, interesting. Okay, so. You feel like you feel just because you complained about your food because it wasn't made properly, that wasn't quite Karen behavior. You felt like you were just...
I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, if you paying money into something, you would want it to be what what they claim it to be. You're supposed to get... I was supposed to get a medium rare fucking steak, that's supposed to be good and juicy and not dried up, tasting like straight, charcoal. Mm-hmm. And the dude act like, I don't know, then they took it. That's what really pissed me off, because they took it to act like they was going to fix the problem. And then they didn't even fucking fix it. They put it in the microwave or some dumb shit like that. And I was like, dude, You didn't hear anything I just said or what I complained about. The bottom of this damn steak is completely black and charred, and I don't like the taste of it. I want a whole new steak. He talking about he wasn't gonna give me a whole new steak, and he was like, the steak is perfectly fine. And I'm talking about it, like for anybody in the food industry, and a lot of people that have been in the food industry knows this. You know what I'm saying? It's such to say, but the customer's always right. You're not going to tell me how the steak tastes to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Even though visually you could, you could. Thank you. Have a great night.
Do you know what the race of the cook was that was cooking your steak?
No, I don't know.
Oh.
But the guy that I was talking to, he was Hispanic, the manager or whatever.
Okay.
So I told him I wanted my money back. Don't act like that. That's not even right.
Okay. What are you talking about?
I don't know whatever the hell you laughing at.
No, I'm just,
I already know it ain't right because you just laugh at, saying fucked up shit.
All I did was inquire of, the racial makeup of cooking. If you didn't know, I can't help that.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So, here's my thing, right? Do you think that it's just an unfair rap that white women are getting because they're just expressing, where they feel that they've been given some type of injustice and they're just speaking their mind and they're getting unfairly labeled as Karens?
To me, I think it's funny. But I don't think it just, like, I feel like any person of any skin color could be a Karen.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hell yeah. Come on now. Like I just said, hello, Lexi, Ashley. You know what I'm saying?
So you
all
think
of them, even including, anybody.
Because, normally black women get labeled with the angry black woman and, those kind of titles, or they're belligerent or they're aggressive or, things like that. So you think that if, again, I don't know how Lexi looks. Lexi has a particular voice that gives off a certain image, but she could be, anything. Voices can be deceptive. So you think because of her demeanor, if we're just stereotyping it up tonight, because you would say that she quote unquote acts white, or sounds white.
No,
but you see that she get labeled a Karen
about that. But I'm just saying, if you want to base it off of, color of skin, I mean, this is what the white people are perceived as. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's. I guess so then, you know what I'm saying? But I don't mean it in a bad way because I would even say just like, okay, for instance, for prime example, the Snickers commercial. You know what I'm saying? Anybody could be a diva when they're fucking hungry. Yes. And they had males playing it. They had black, white, you know what I'm saying? They had all different actors of ethnicity and gender, you know what I'm saying, playing these parts. And I kind of feel like, you know what I'm saying, the Karen would fall along those lines, even though, it might be pushed more towards white people because that's where it came from, I suppose, whoever started it. But I kind of feel like, if it is a emotion or a type of person, you know what I'm saying, because, like I said, everybody acts differently. It doesn't really necessarily mean the color of your skin. So I feel like it could be anybody.
Okay. So, at what moment did you feel like Ashley was a nigger?
What?
And then what you just said?
That is not what I said.
I thought I heard
That's not even a comparison.
I thought I heard that.
A Karen and the N-word is not even a comparison to anything because a Karen to me is like a joke, like, you know what I'm saying, like that. I mean, the N-word was really something that was, really put on to hurt somebody or to give somebody a name as far as, to be hurtful and derogatory and everything like that. I just don't feel like Karen is that, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like it's that serious. The N-word was a very serious gesture that people came up with for the wrong reason. Karen is some other bullshit.
Okay. Do you think if people
It's
say...
just like a motherfucker would never be offended by being called a cracker. Well, I never have. I've heard, my friends joke around and they be like, you cracker, and I'll be like, you N-word, but that's my friends. See, they don't care like that. Because they'll say I'm an N-word all day.
Lady Licious uses I knew it. I told you I'd be like this.
I do. About certain people, yeah. And if it's all right, yeah. Because they'll make me. They'll be like, you an N-word too. You might as well go ahead and say it. Plus, you're my friend. I don't care, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? I've actually had multiple people tell me that in my lifetime. Even through, high school, my older years, blah, blah, blah. I've always had people try to tell me this, even though I refused for a very long time. But I'm older now, and it ain't too many people that I fuck with. So, yeah, if you my N-word, then you my N-word. And that's just that. With the GA, though, I would never, I'd have said ER jokingly. But I wouldn't just go to a random store up to a random person and be like, you N-E-R, you know what I'm saying? Like, no. I would never do that.
Okay. I mean, this you openly admit and you're honest about it. I'm going to be honest, y'all. I feel like at some point in her life, Lady Vicious has used the term nigger dick. I'm like willing to bet money on it. She might not admit it, but I'm willing to bet money on it. But anyway,
wow, N-word dick? Nah. Yes. Ain't no such thing as colored penises, okay? It's all about whether you a shrimp dick, you a big dick, you know what I'm saying? You a skinny dick, you a too fat dick, I don't know, something like that is what I might talk about, but it would never be the N-word dick because that's all I fuck with anyway. Sorry. I mean, it just is what it is. So it would never just be the N-word dick. What the fuck? Like, that's a big black dick right there. You know what I'm saying? No.
Okay.
Like, either was big or big. Hey, that's all that matters. Anyway, y'all ass come up with some...
I'm just saying.
Interesting. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. I definitely got something I gotta check out. Okay. Well, aside from that, I don't think I have too much more to say other than Julia probably says nigger dick too. But it is what it is. It's birds of a feather flock together. It is what it is. So. Okay.
That girl is so fucking dingy and goofy and just bubbly as hell, kind of like Lexi. It's funny, but yeah, no, I don't think she would ever say some shit like that. But who knows? You know what I'm saying? Behind closed doors, her and her husband might just, I don't know.
Oh yes, she does.
Just like Honcho.
What?
When he get off of YouTube and stuff like that, how he be talking about white people and his people.
Yeah, I talk about everybody. I mean, nobody's safe.
Yeah, exactly.
I openly admit that I talk about everybody.
We had this cracker today. We had this N-word today. We done had this stick today. God damn, I said.
I usually don't use it in reference to like anything Den related, but if I'm dealing with other people's day-to-day experiences, then yeah, I probably do. So. Yeah. Not probably.
No offense to anybody.
I know, offend everybody. Right. I definitely do.
Right.
So, it kind of is what it is.
Did she just say that? Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely do.
But that's crazy because I would refrain from saying the N-word, but, everything else is just like, that's kind of fucked up because it might be derogatory to other people, but I don't know. Cracker ain't derogatory to me, so I don't know. That's kind of fucked up. My bad, y'all.
Terrible. Shame on you. But it's all good. It's all good. But, Miss Lady Lisa, we've reached that time. And so we're going to get ready to wind it down. But I do appreciate you calling in, representing for the Karens, and, talking to the young Karen in training. And, just appreciate you sharing your thoughts with us this evening.
You're welcome. Y'all have a good night.
All right, you too, ma'am.
All right, thanks.
All right. So, with that being said, as we get ready to wind down here and call it rep, I'm tired of shit. Getting up at fucking 5, it starts to wind down on you a little bit when you start getting these later hours, and then I don't sleep enough. So, whatever. Yeah. So, appreciate all of y'all for being a part of this Karen conversation. Well, here's my thing, man. I think, like I said, I think we're like super soft as a society. My thing, the reason why I say I think everything should be on the table, I believe, like, it's a joke. It's a fucking name. I mean, are we going to ban the name Karen? No. It's just something that people do. Is it pleasant? No. Is it funny? Yes. Is it offensive? No. And again, it's easy to talk from the outside, like somebody else could say it, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm just like, man, laugh at shit. Like, if you spend so much time to seeking things to get offended and upset by, live a fucking miserable life. You know what I'm saying? If that shit don't, like I said again, what's the other saying? If it don't apply, let it fly. Yeah. So, we just go from there. Yes, that's about all I got. Discord after the stream. Good night, Miss Cartier. It'll be Discord after stream. I'll post the link in here. Been some various interesting conversations going on. I think last night. I think I was on last night for a little bit. Or maybe the night before. I can't remember. I have no idea. But we'll be in the What's going down, dog? Hold up. Cause I was wondering, I tried to do a video thing the other day, yesterday, not yesterday, day or two in the sauce, and the shit was acting up, but now they're saying the server video's working. So, okay, cool. That's always good to see a little fancy news like that. Try that out tomorrow. Okay. And that was early when the damn fucking YouTube like fucked up on me while we were doing the Salt Sports TV. Let me put the link in here, and make sure you come be a part of that conversation, man. I know Heidi's been running from the conversation. It's all right. Excuse me. Until she shows up, we'll just continue to talk about her, just like everybody else who's not there gets talked about, even me. So, I'm trying to produce, man. I appreciate all of y'all, man. Again, like I say, it is my honor. It is my privilege. But most of all, it is my pleasure to get to chop it up, have conversations, enjoyable conversations with all of you wonderful people, man. I thank y'all for being here. But with that being said, I need to, I might be, like I say, in Discord for a few minutes, but I'm probably catch me some sleep here. But I thank y'all. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Y'all ain't got to go home. Slide to the Discord if y'all want to continue the conversation with the rest of the den folk. You can jump in the voice chat. You can jump in the text chat if you just want to listen in. Or I may play a bunch of music to be rude and be way too loud. But you can turn the volume down on the music, or you can mute it if you don't want to hear the music at all. Because I will play stuff, soundtrack to your conversations if y'all talking about crazy stuff. But talking about Deuce, y'all be cool like y'all be cool. We didn't cut the bottle. Wow, I didn't cut the bottle on all tonight, huh? Yeah, that's what happens. I'm surprised. So I tell y'all, Sweet Berry ain't on it like she used to be. Because if she was, I'd have been accosted, attacked, and violated. But here we go. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for coming through. Until tomorrow night, I am outie. Bye, Karen East. Good night, Miss Sarah. Miss Bell. Good night. Let's see this hot job with you. Terrible. James Harden, answer the phone call next time all the NBA superstars call you. So that way you can do what you're supposed to do, or whatever. I'm gone.